M&F Bank has deep roots as a community-minded bank. You won't just see M&F Bank employees in the bank. You'll find us at the ballpark, the grocery store, school plays, church, and local events. We, like you, are part of this community and we're committed to its continued growth. Bank with a neighbor at M&F Bank. M&F Bank, exceeding expectations every day. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Welcome to Game Night Shelby County as we wrap up the 2011 high school football season by presenting our Shelby County Reporter All-County team and Player of the Year. First, let's start off with the announcement of our Player of the Year. It was a tough race to call, but in the end, Chelsea senior Jake Guinness, a quarterback and safety for the Hornets, is our Player of the Year after racking up nearly 2,500 yards in total offense and 31 touchdowns this year, while leading Chelsea to the Alabama High School Athletic Association Class 5A playoffs for the second year in a row. Guinness was also the athlete, took up the athlete position on our All-County offense. Let's run down the All-County offense for you by starting out with a quarterback position. Briarwood Christian senior Ben Kraft is our All-County quarterback after passing for 2,671 yards and 35 touchdowns this year. Vincent running back Shakori Lilly is our first running back on the All-County team. Lilly rushed for 1,566 yards and 23 touchdowns this year. Lilly is joined by Montevallo senior Garius Chappelle, who finished with 1,240 yards and 13 touchdowns this year. Briarwood Christian School junior Daniel Robert is our only junior on the All-County offense. Robert finished with 767 yards and 13 touchdowns on 50 receptions this year. He is joined by Jeremy Hyde of Calera. The Calera senior reeled in 49 receptions for 540 yards and 4 touchdowns this year. Mike Pate of Shelby County is our All-County tight end. The senior for the Wildcats proved his value as a two-way starter and both as a blocker and a receiver for the Wildcats this year. Our offensive line includes Pelham senior Jacob Forehand. The recent UAB commitment paved the way for the Panthers' ground attack this year. He is joined by Briarwood Christian School seniors Nick Maxey and Tim Crenshaw. Maxey played an integral role up front on the offensive line, and both he and Crenshaw protected the quarterback very well and paved the way for a 1,000-yard rusher in Matthew Ferruto. They are joined by Kevin Ramey of Thompson. The undersized lineman played a big role for the Warriors up front. And the final All-County offensive lineman is Spain Park senior Ben Tamburello. The Sanford verbal commitment proved his versatility for the Jaguars by playing a couple of positions on the offensive line. And as mentioned, Jake Guinness is our athlete on the offense. He accounted for 2,489 total yards and 31 touchdowns this year. On our defensive All-County team, Patrick Lawley of Montevallo takes up one of the defensive lineman spots. The senior finished with 54 tackles after playing several positions for the Bulldogs. He is joined by Jay Chisholm of Chelsea, who played a key role as a leader on an outstanding defensive line for the Hornets this year. Briarwood Christian School senior Jackson Thomas is also on our All-County defensive line. He finished with 75 tackles, including 11 for a loss this year. The final defensive lineman is Janiah Jackson of Spain Park. The only junior on the All-County defensive team, played a couple of different positions for the Jaguars and was also capable of playing linebacker and led the Spain Park defense with 94 total tackles. Chris Jones of Oak Mountain is one of our 3 linebackers on the team. The versatile athlete was one of the few bright spots for the Eagles this year. Roy Gilbert of Briarwood Christian School is another linebacker on the team. He led the lines with 119 total tackles as the quarterback of the defense. DeMonte Johnson of Vincent is our final linebacker on the team. The senior racked up 86 tackles and scored 4 touchdowns on defense this year. Our defensive backs include a pair of Spain Park and Briarwood Christian defenders. Devin Bowman and Chad Davis of Briarwood Christian were each named to the team. Bowman, a senior, led the lines with 4 interceptions while recording 48 tackles. Davis, the line's secondary leader, finished with 55 tackles and 2 interceptions this year. The Briarwood Christian duo is joined by a pair of teammates from Spain Park, and Destin Challenger and Chris Humes. Challenger finished with 71 tackles as a senior. He's headed to UAB next year. Chris Humes finished with 30 total tackles for the Jaguars, and he proved his value by forcing offenses to look for other receiving options with his reputation as a feared secondary. Our specialist on the team this year is Denzel Williams of Shelby County. The senior was a triple threat and did everything from kickoffs to kick returns for the Wildcats. Those 24 players make up our Shelby County Reporter All-County team. Each of the players had incredible seasons this year and made it really difficult to determine which players deserve spots on the teams and which ones were reserved for honorable mention. The entire All-County team can be found online at ShelbyCountyReporter.com and in the December 21st edition of the Shelby County Reporter. Thank you for joining us here at Game Night Shelby County. We look forward to seeing you again next year in 2012. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.